The old relationship we had with the United States, based on deepening integration of our economies and tight security and military cooperations, is over.
All right, so again, very stark word there. Germany also saying, quote, will not give in, and that Europe must respond firmly to the tariffs. Other major world economies have vowed to retaliate, with France branding the move as a waste of time, China accusing the tariffs of violating international trade rules. So I'll go to you, Pete, on this. Are U.S. critical over these retaliatory tariffs, as the president calls them?
Well, we should expect these tariffs to occur. I mean, after all, this is really a double hit on U.S. consumers and workers. The tariffs that we're seeing now will raise the price of an imported car from the European Union, for example, by an average of about $6,500. Now, if it's coming from Canada or Mexico, where the car might have some U.S. content, we might be talking about some parts coming in and the final assembly being here, well, the average might be $4,500. But then, for our exported vehicles, we start getting hit with tariffs on the other side. That might make it less attractive for consumers and companies to buy over there. And so we have ripple effects on employment and manufacturing here in the United States. Let's not forget, just like any other tax, compliance with a tariff has its own financial burden. Whereas before, with the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, the tariffs were relatively minimal on parts going in across the border into U.S. automobiles that are assembled here. Now they're 25%. Now U.S. automakers here are going to start having to keep track of domestic versus foreign content in their automobiles. That's going to take labor. That's going to take time. That's going to take money.
But we are talking about the United States. You think about the role the U.S. plays in production and consumption here, Thomas. I mean, aren't other countries going to be willing to at least relook at these tariffs that have been in place for so long? Because without the U.S. support, they're going to feel the burden of that.
I hope so.
Let's hope.
I certainly hope so. Here's hoping that this war does not escalate and put more inflationary pressure like we just saw today with the release of the personal consumption expenditure report.